Hi everyone, Rob Kajiwara here. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about how Japanese right wing nationalists are trying to cover up Japan's dark history, trying to rewrite history and pretend like it didn't exist or significantly downplay some of the dark things that Japan did during World War II. Yeah. So you might have heard last year, um, Osaka, the city of Osaka, ended its sister city relationship with San Francisco over the issue of comfort women. The city of San Francisco um, erected a statue commemorating comfort women, the primarily Korean comfort women who survived the war, and just to put it up in their honor and in their memory, and to try to make sure that something like this never happens again. So, if you're not familiar with the issue of the comfort women, what it is during World War II, the Japanese military, with the blessing of the Japanese government, the funding of the Japanese government, they actually kidnapped a lot of women, predominantly Korean women, and used them basically as slaves. They were slaves. And Japan says, no, they weren't slaves, they were prostitutes. And no, they were not prostitutes, okay? They were slaves. Everyone knows this. Everyone in the entire world knows this except for right-wing Japanese nationalists, okay? They're delusional, and they're trying to convince the rest of the world that this isn't true. But no one believes them. The whole world doesn't believe Japan, okay? No one believes it. And so San Francisco, so they put up the statue just, because there are a lot of Asians living in California, in San Francisco area, and other parts of California, who were affected by this issue. Yeah, heavily affected. It's just such a terrible moment in world history. So the problem is the city of Osaka, whose mayor is a Japanese right-wing nationalist. They decided to cut ties with the city of San Francisco over this issue, because they were trying to force San Francisco to pretend like the comfort women didn't exist, or like it didn't happen. But it definitely happened, okay? Everyone knows it in the entire world except for these Japanese right-wing nationalists. And San Francisco said, forget you, bye. Where we don't, if that's how it's gonna be, well, we'll see you later, because we're not gonna put up with this. And so even Japanese, a lot of people in Japan are upset about the way the Japanese right wing nationalists are handling this. Like, they don't agree with this rewriting of history at all. They don't agree with it. A lot of Japanese are really upset at the way the government is handling this issue. But it's really the Japanese right wing nationalists who are doing this. It's not even all of the Japanese, just certain ones, including Prime Minister of Japan Shinzo Abe. Yeah, Shinzo Abe, his grandfather was a Class A war criminal during World War II. So, yeah, you could see the problems there. But so yes, Japan has been trying to rewrite history, trying to cover up its history and pretend like these comfort women didn't exist, or that they were prostitutes. Or no, they were not prostitutes. They were kidnapped at gunpoint, okay, by the Japanese military, with the blessing of the Japanese government, with the funding of the Japanese government, to do this. Is a horrible moment in history. Okay, and Japan wants to pretend like it didn't exist, but the rest of the world knows the truth. And that's not the only way they're trying to rewrite history. They're trying to rewrite the history books literally. They're trying to write new history books and teach it in Japanese schools to downplay Japan's war crimes during World War II. And they're also trying to convince other nations across the world to do the same. and no one's listening to them. So my message to Japan is to please get these crazy guys out of your government, because all it's doing is making Japan look very bad in front of the whole world. Okay, the world doesn't believe Japan when it tries to do this. No one believes Japan. Okay, everyone knows what happened during the war. Everyone saw it. Okay, the whole world witnessed it. The whole world already knows the truth. And so by continuing to try to change history, the only thing it's doing is embarrassing Japan in front of the whole world. That's it. So, I mean, you guys can do that if you want to, but I gotta warn you that the longer you continue to do this, the worse Japan's reputation is going to grow. It's just the truth. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Now, it is true that the United States and I think other Western nations as well, but mostly the United States, they really kind of helped encourage Japan to become the imperialist nation that it did during World War II. Okay, they bullied Japan. America was very prejudiced against Japanese. In fact, America is still kind of prejudiced against Asians in general. But especially during the late 1800s, early 1900s, America was very prejudiced against Asians, including Japanese. And it was due to pressure from America and other Western nations that really pushed Japan to become what it became during World War II. So it wasn't entirely Japan's fault. However, no nation forced Japan to do what it did regarding the comfort women. Okay, that was entirely Japan's fault. Japan cannot blame anyone else for that. It was just Japan's fault. Never should have happened. And look, people make mistakes. Countries make mistakes. It happens. America has made tons of mistakes. Okay, America has made a lot of mistakes. The U.S. has done so many bad things in its history. But the thing is, Japan, out of the three largest Axis powers during World War II, Germany, Italy, and Japan, only Japan has been unable to accept its history. Like, Germany and Italy both accepted it. They both apologized for it. Sincerely apologized, and they got those guys out of power. The guys who were responsible, they changed governments. Okay, they removed the bad guys. They got some other people in, and they changed their entire government. And so now both Germany and Italy are peaceful, successful nations, and people around the world, most people have forgiven Germany and Italy for what they did during World War II. They no longer have that bad reputation. However, Japan is the one who has been unable to accept what happened. Japan is the only one of those three. And this is why a lot of people around the world still have a problem with Japan. Okay, a lot of Asian countries and Asian people all over the world still don't like Japan and don't trust Japan because Japan won't really acknowledge its crimes during the war. I mean, the Prime Minister of Japan and other right-wing nationalists in Japan, they still go to the war shrines and Yasukuni, and they go there and to celebrate the dead. The dead war criminals, okay? War criminals. So that's why people all over the world still have a tough time trusting Japan. And then when Japan goes and tries to convince other people that the history was false or fake or like they're trying to change history. Like, that just makes it even worse. Okay, that's all it's doing is embarrassing Japan in front of the whole world. That's it. Because no one believes, no one believes Japan when they say, "Oh, we didn't do that." No, no, everyone knows what happened. Okay, so all it all it is, it's making Japan look delusional. That's it. It's making it look like they just can't accept what happened, and the problem is only going to get worse. I mean, next year is the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Um, the eyes of the world will be on Japan, and if Japan doesn't change by then it's just it's gonna embarrass Japan even further. So there you go. My recommendation to Japanese is to please stop trying to change history and just start trying to develop peaceful and friendly relations with the rest of the world. The world will accept you if you stop doing dumb things. If you actually apologize for what happened during the war and you change. If you change, the world will accept you. But if you keep doing these things and trying to deny things and cover it up, and well, that's only gonna make everything worse. Okay, so that's my encouragement for Japanese. Not to mention the way Japanese treats its minorities, including Okinawans, is terrible. Japanese are very prejudiced against Okinawans, and so that's another thing that makes Japan look bad in front of the rest of the world. Okay, the rest of the world is aware of how Japan is prejudiced against Okinawans. So that's another thing that also needs to be changed. So there you go. I think I've said enough about that for now. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel if you like to see more of our videos. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time.